Hey everyone, Ryan here, and in today's video we're going over the more than 15 LEGO Star Wars sets still slated to release in the second half of 2023. Today we've got the latest details on many sets, plus super crisp pictures of some of those summer 2023 sets that we had leaked not too long ago, and a new set picture of the advent calendar, so we'll know a lot of what's in there, and a whole lot more, and we're going to be going in release date order in this video, so you're going to know when these sets are going to come out, and if there aren't pictures, I'll tell you when you can expect pictures, because that's one of the most common questions I get. We'll start with the set releasing on June 1st, and that is the Tanoo Jedi Temple, 124 pieces, $40. It's got 3 minifigs, but it's definitely missing the one I wanted the most, maybe. He's super cute, and unfortunately, he's just not here. Interestingly, I was recently at the Disney Springs Star Wars store, and they had a ton of merch for him, but he's not in the LEGO set, so I don't understand it. Now, I did say this set is coming out on June 1st, but that only applies if you don't live in North America. If you live in North America, this set actually isn't coming out until July 1st. Won't someone think of the children, those 4+-year-olds that were just waiting to get this set, and now they have to wait an entire another month? It's just super unfair. Look, I don't really care that much that this set is delayed. It's not a one that fans were waiting for like crazy, but like, why can't LEGO Star Wars just release things at the same time in the same places? Moving on to the 8 sets that we have releasing on August 1st. We now have pictures of all 8 of these sets, which is great, so you can see everything you're going to be able to get on August 1st here. We'll start with the 332nd Battle Pack. It's said to have 106 pieces, and the retail price is very much in limbo. It was originally reported, I believe, to be $25. It was later reported to have received another price increase to $27, and LEGO, seemingly at the last second, came to their senses and reduced the price back to the normal $20 price for battle packs. Now, we know this change happened at the last second because we can still see the set costing $27 in the German LEGO catalog, and we also know that some of the other sets that look like they would have previously been 20 bucks now also cost $27. So this $27 price point wasn't made up out of thin air. LEGO Star Wars was legitimately going to charge $27 for this set, and someone somewhere decided that was a really bad idea, because it was. Now, this return to normal pricing is going to vary depending on where you live. In the US, like I said, it's going to go all the way back to the normal 20 bucks, but according to Promo Bricks, if you live in like Germany, the normal $20 price is not coming back. It's actually still going to be slightly more expensive by like $1 or $2. So keep an eye out. Depending on your locale, the pricing still might go up, even though it's back to normal in my terms. Definitely very, very slimy by LEGO to be increasing prices on battle packs again after increasing them by 33% just 2 years ago. It's just absurd to me what they're doing here. But let's talk about those minifigs. Speaking of things that are absurd, Captain Vaughn, the bottom part of his torso is supposed to be dark or light gray or whatever, and they didn't bother to add that detail in. It's just plain lazy. He's got the proper patch, and that's good. That's what we expected. That's like the bare minimum, right? But the helmet, he has a different helmet design than normal 332nd Troopers, and that is not represented at all whatsoever. They couldn't be bothered to do anything better. And then as to the normal 332nd Troopers, now that we have much more high definition images here, we can see they have these massive black lines that basically look like unibrows on these 332nd Troopers. Plus, we have the awful double helmet hole design brought into here, and if you still have any complaints, you can direct it to the LEGO Star Wars minifigure designer, who allegedly told one of my fans at Star Wars Celebration that there is nothing wrong with the 212th Trooper helmet. I rest my case on the figures. They are objectively worse than both how they should be and what they were just 6 months ago. Now, when it comes to the Swamp Speeder in this build, I think it's okay. Like, I know a lot of people are saying it's smaller, there wasn't a Swamp Speeder on Mandalore. It's a battle pack. I don't really care about the builds and battle packs all too much. I think it's a unique color scheme, which is fun. Like, battle packs are generally supposed to have some fun, small side builds, and this accomplishes that to me. I just really, really hate the figures and how they were executed. So that's just where I'm at on it. If you want to enjoy the set, please do, but I won't. The next set is Yoda's Jedi Starfighter with 253 pieces for $35. This set just seems like it's going to be a little bit too much money with a little too few minifigures. I think the design on it is generally good. There's nothing that really pops out to me as awful on the Yoda Starfighter. They made a new print for the windshield cockpit piece, which is nice. Like, they did a good job with the set. It's just one of those sets that no one was really asking for. You didn't even add in a new unique third minifigure like we at least had in Obi-Wan Starfighter last year. We got the Kaminoan. I don't know why we couldn't have gotten some random third cool figure that we've never gotten before in this set, especially given that it's $35. Next up is our $50 Mandalorian Spider Tank with 526 pieces, and I feel like the hype has really died down on this one, somewhat, at least to me internally, because the Mandalorian Season 3 kind of didn't end that great. I didn't enjoy it all that much, and so I've just kind of forgotten about it, for better or for worse. I still think enough people might want to go out and buy this set because of that new Bo-Katan with that arm printing and new helmet print that look phenomenal. Yeah, that's right. I don't only complain about things like Captain Vaughn. I do say good things when LEGO does good things, and they did a dang good thing here with the Bo-Katan. She looks amazing. So does the Mandalorian in this set. And then, of course, you just get your standard Grogu. But ultimately, this set is lacking in a few areas. It's missing some of the key features and action sequences from the episode in the show. And so for that, I feel like it's really just a bit of a disappointment, even though the design for the spider tank is pretty good and the minifigs are pretty good. I think it'll sell fine. I think people will still like it. It's just missing some stuff. Next up, we have the horrendously priced $16 Mando's N1 Starfighter Microfighter. We get the Mandalorian minifigure, which again looks really good here. And then we get the standard Grogu character. So yeah, 2 minifigs in 1 microfighter, but a $6 price bump compared to every other microfighter ever. I don't quite think that's justified, to say the least. Anyway, I don't really think it's a bad microfighter or a bad concept for a microfighter or a set. Like, it definitely should be a thing that exists, but for $16, I don't know about that. Moving on to the August 1st I'm most excited for, that's the $160 1067 piece YAVIN IV Rebel base, and this thing to me is phenomenal on pretty much everything except the tree. The tree looks like they literally took it from the $35 Juniors ATSD set and then built it up a little higher and then plopped it in this set. So I just detest that tree, but there's a lot of other things to like about this set, like the Y-Wing in this thing is phenomenal for the size. I did not expect this. I really thought it was going to be a microfighter Y-Wing, so seeing this kind of more full Y-Wing is awesome. As far as the YAVIN Rebel base, I really like the dark tan, dark gray color scheme. I saw some comments that didn't love the lack or seeming lack of foliage, like they wanted more, and I can kind of get behind that, but I think it generally still is a pretty good looking design. And officially it looks like we'll have 12 minifigs in the set. We get a much better view of that celebration Luke Skywalker and Han Solo. You can see they have the removable medallions, so in the one picture they have them, and then in the other pictures they don't, so I think that is pretty sick to see. Leia's a pretty good figure. General Dodonna I'm not excited about, except the idea that he comes with the pointer stick that we see in the movie. I think that's a fun detail to have brought into a set like this. Fascinating that the LEGO Star Wars designers would be smart enough to get a detail like the pointer stick in this set, but not a Palpatine hologram in the ATT. Fascinating how that works. The 2 Rebel pilots look fine. Chewbacca's fine. The C-3PO, however, is pretty cool. It looks like, now that we have these sharper images, he actually has arm printing. I had to do a double take, but I'm pretty positive he has arm printing. I'm not sure what other sets have had C-3PO with arm printing that weren't the UCS Luke's Landspeeder, so that's a nice inclusion. We see the 2 astromech droids. Unsure if either of them will have back printing, but we can at least assume R2 will, because it seems like they're doing back printing on all the R2s now. Then we have the Rebel Fleet Trooper and the Rebel Technician. I really wish we got more Rebel Fleet Troopers. I also really wish the Rebel Fleet Trooper had dual molded legs, but overall I'm a really big fan of this set, and I think they have knocked it out of the park on this one. I can't wait to see the backside of this, to see what the play interior has in store for it, because I feel like it should have quite a bit going on in those upper levels, but that remains to be seen. The final 3 August 1st release sets are the 3 $16 mech sets that nobody asked for, but I did predict 3 years ago when I reviewed the Thanos mech and said, hey, does this mean Star Wars mechs? Apparently it does. And it's really unfortunate because when the Thanos mech came out, mechs were $10 and now they're $16. Again, 60% price increase and nothing really extra here. Maybe a slightly beefier build, but is it really worth $6 extra? No is the answer. Anyway, the minifigs in these sets are nice and they'll probably be the main draw for most people. For anyone else, obviously, kids will enjoy playing with mechs. I just wish they made a playset at this price point that wasn't a mech. I'm not into the mechs at all, as you can tell. I think people are gonna overpay for these for minifigs, and that's just what's gonna happen. The Boba Fett is by far the best figure here, though. It's amazing. They did a great job with it. Just missing that cloth piece for no reason. Now this next bit I'm a little unsure of. Usually the advent calendars come out on September 1st, but it's rumored that they might release on August 24th this year, so it might release a week earlier than normal, so just keep your eye out for that. But we do now have a picture of the advent calendar, and so we can get a really good idea of everything that's going to be included. The price on this one is supposed to be $45. First off, we can see a winter Ewok that was leaked a few months back, and he's on a flyer, and that looks amazing. I also see Mando's N1 Starfighter, what looks like some form of ATST or maybe ATDP, kind of hard to tell. There's also a micro version of the Endor Village, a speeder bike. Now for the other figures, it looks like we have another 212 Trooper, and he is standing in a micro version of the Clone Command Station, which is actually pretty cool, although the Clone Command Station probably would have gone better in the set last year when you had the Clone Commander that came with the Clone Command Station set. Either way, you can see that 212 Trooper, and you can see they are still going to be falsely advertising it. I know it's a little bit blurry to tell, but they are definitely going to be falsely advertising this one again, despite having that god-awful helmet print. We also see a battle droid with a stap. Now, I was not excited to have a battle droid in an advent calendar again, but if it means getting a stap, I'm kind of all for it. I think that's actually pretty sick. And then there's still 4 other characters. We see Omega on a sled and a reindeer gonk droid. Love those. And finally, we have what looks like Endor Leia and some sort of holiday Emperor Palpatine at the front of the Endor bunker there. The other August 24 set is one that I think everyone's pretty much forgotten about at this point, but 2,320 piece, $200 buildable Chewbacca is still coming, and it's unfortunate. They could have done way cooler things with this $200 price tag, but buildable Chewbacca. I hope it's good. It's not like I don't like Chewbacca. I just, you know, not excited for this set. So maybe that'll change when we see pictures of it. It's the one set we don't have pictures of yet of the like through August 24th sets. So I don't really know when to expect that. This one seems to be more in limbo than some of the sets we're about to talk about. I would guess we see this one by August 1st though. Now, September 1st is where most people have put their hype stock into for summer 2023 with LEGO Star Wars. August 1st with Mechs and an overpriced Microfighter and bad 332nd Troopers. Like, there's not a whole lot to get excited about there. But the September 1st wave, it definitely promises to change that for a lot of people. Starting with maybe the most exciting set for a lot of people on September 1st, the Republic Gunship. Now, when the server first popped up, I think a lot of people thought, hey, normal Republic Gunship from Episode 2 or the Clone Wars, that would make the most sense. And then the Mandalorian Season 3 episode came out that had Keller and Beck saving Grogu, and I still think this would be the best gunship set they could make at this point. Maybe they'll make it in a couple years, but a normal gunship, except it comes with Keller and Beck and Grogu and a couple regular clones and a couple shock clones, and that would be an amazing set. But LEGO Star Wars designers had something different in mind, making something pretty niche that we don't really see too much in all of Star Wars with the Coruscant Guard Republic gunship, which is a good thing that they're making something this niche. Anyway, this one's supposed to be $140 with 1,083 pieces and only 5 minifigs. Super disappointing to only get 5 minifigs. Anyway, the minifigs in this set is a promising lineup, although I think the execution on 3 of them is going to be pretty bad. First up, Padme and Palpatine from the Clone Wars, I think are going to be the best figures in this set, detail and accuracy-wise. It's hard to mess them up for LEGO Star Wars, and so I'm really excited to see what they have here with those. I heard Palpatine should have the dress skirt piece for him, so I think that'll be a good look. But then as we move to the Shock Troopers, let's say if these figures came out a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have a single complaint about them, much like I didn't have a single complaint about the 187th Troopers. I think it's about the same design, just kind of a color swap. However, these Shock Troopers will have the awful helmet holes once again. LEGO Star Wars, please, 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 please reconsider the common sense behind what you're doing with helmet holes, because there is none. So yeah, we're gonna have the Shock Troopers. For people that don't mind the helmet holes, like, oh bro, I'm sure you're pumped for this. I'm not. Now Fox is interesting here because I'm pretty happy with how the figure is going to look overall, because much like with Commander Cody, like it's making use of those double helmet holes, and so they don't look bad like they would look on a Shock Trooper, like they look bad on a 332nd Trooper, etc., etc. I think I've said the same thing enough times at this point. Most of you know what I'm talking about. Now, we've had some leaked images of some of the parts of some of these figures from these sets, and I can't show them, but I can show you a picture of exactly what it's going to look like with this one from one of the LEGO Star Wars games, and it is just wrong on the torso. Like, the rest of the figure is amazing. I wouldn't have a bad thing to say about this figure, except for no particular reason. The LEGO Star Wars minifigure designer just decided to make it wrong. I cannot comprehend why. The portion that I'm highlighting here is actually supposed to be red, not white. You can see the Clone Army Customs version of this clone has that perfectly correct, because this is factually wrong. I don't understand why the LEGO Star Wars minifigure guy can't just get it right. It's not that hard. It looks exactly like that in the show. Why can't it look exactly like that on the figure? I'm not asking for 100% accuracy. Obviously, a minifigure doesn't look exactly like the in-universe character, but to have the proper color in the proper spot, that's all we're looking for. I mean, come on, it's not that hard. Most of these changes that you'll hear me ask for on some of these sets, and they'll never make these changes on sets that they've already finished designing because they're too lazy to go back and do it, despite having done it on the Resistance Bomber about 5 years ago and making this big hoopla about how only the best is good enough and how they were so righteous for fixing that set and making it movie accurate and all that. But these are zero cost changes. It costs LEGO nothing more to make the figure look the right way. Next, we have the $170 Ghost with 1,394 pieces. There is a chance this will come with a Phantom build in some form or fashion because it's just so many pieces compared to the old Ghost. Now, there's also a chance it won't have the Phantom, but there's a chance that it does, and that's an exciting prospect to me. Hopefully, we'll know more about that soon. And as far as pictures of the Gunship that I just talked about, and the Ghost I'm talking about now, I think we can expect pictures around mid-July for these sets. I can't imagine them waiting much longer than that to reveal them. Figures in this set are supposed to be Hera, Chopper, Corey, Jason, Hera and Kanan's son, and an unknown dark-skinned figure according to Promo Bricks. We have two other sets from the Ahsoka show that are supposed to come out on September 1st, and these ones might not be revealed until after the Gunship and Ghost. I think those might come beforehand, but these two Ahsoka sets might contain spoilers from the show, and like you saw with the Mandalorian Fang Fighter and TIE Interceptor, they might wait to reveal them until after the show episodes have aired. But first up, the $70 T6 Jedi Shuttle with 599 pieces. This one is supposed to have an Ahsoka minifigure, Sabine, Hu Yang, and an Inquisitor-like figure. I think that set should be super exciting. And then we also have a $100 Ahsoka set that we don't really know anything about right now, so we'll have to wait for more information to come out on that. But two Ahsoka sets plus the Ghost and the Gunship on September 1st is going to be a heck of a drop. Finally, that brings us to October 1st when we should be getting the UCS Venator. Of course, probably the most exciting set of the year, $650. 5,374 pieces. It's said to have two minifigs with Captain Rex and a young Admiral Yularen. The Captain Rex is supposed to have the inhibitor chip, and then he'll probably look like this picture of the figure from one of the games where he'll have arm printing, he'll have a printed waist cape, he's supposed to have a cloth pauldron, but there's no credible source saying he will actually have a cloth waist cape, despite LEGO having kind of half brought them back, even though they look worse than they did in the past. So we'll see if he ends up with a waist cape. At this point, it's unconfirmed whether he will or will not. The best information I have is that no one reputable has said that he will have it. So if that gives you any indication, he probably won't. But this UCS Venator promises to be one of the best LEGO best LEGO prequel sets ever released come October. I'm super pumped for this. Cannot wait to get my hands on it and review it and build it and love it and look at it. You know, it's going to be amazing. And then there's said to be a promo. Now, I don't know if the promo is going to release alongside the Venator or not, but there's said to be like some sort of sequel trilogy promo, which is weird, but like it's really a cool concept. It's some type of LEGO Star Wars holiday special diorama. It's supposed to include Finn, Rey, Chewbacca, and BB-8 minifigs, and it's completely unconfirmed whether or not they will be like holiday versions of those figures, or if they will be like the normal versions that we see in a set like the UCS Falcon that LEGO probably has thousands of extra laying around, and that's why they're really making this promo set, is to get rid of some of these extra figures that they have laying around. So hopefully it's not that. Hopefully we do get some unique figs for the set, but all of that is completely unknown at this point, and we don't even know what the build will look like other than it being said to be a diorama. Kind of like looking forward to 2024. The only thing we really know at this point for 2024 is there should be a Jabba sail barge coming out. We had that leak earlier this year of a bunch of like survey LEGO sets that got leaked, and Jabba sail barge UCS was one of them. So make sure you hit that subscribe button with notifications on if you don't want to miss future LEGO Star Wars rumor updates. And of course, I'll be reviewing all of these sets, the good, the bad, and the ugly of LEGO Star Wars Summer 2023 on the channel as I'm able to get them, so you're not going to want to miss that either.